The Holy Spirit is so faithful on keeping you fixed and focused. And we are living in a day and age where you just can't live distracted. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I want to do a word from the Word with you today, and specifically out of Titus. I've been working on a book that I'm trying to get done, and I was dealing with this phrase that consistently appears in Titus. It appears like 6 or 7 times, and we translate it in chapter 2, verse 2. It says, "Teach the older men to be temperate, worthy of respect, and self-controlled. To the older women, tells them to be reverent in the way they live, and likewise, so they're also to be self-controlled." Actually doesn't mention it, but it's the likewise idea. But to the women, it actually says the younger women are to be self-controlled, verse 5, and the men are to be self-controlled, as mentioned in verse 6. I mean, just over and over and over. It's this call to be self-controlled. All right, what does that mean? There's a couple different English phrases throughout our New Testament, which read self-controlled, but not every English translation that reads self-controlled is coming from the same Greek word. In other words, you can have two different passages that say self-controlled, but they have different Greek words. This Greek word is probably better translated sober-minded, and it means fixed and focused. This is really important. And I'm inclined, instead of giving you some technical example, giving you one that I had recently. I was in Ohio and played disc golf, and keeps me in shape, and it's fun, it's competitive, and I enjoy it. But I was playing with this couple, and they were at a church that I was at, and they both played, and I was so disappointed in the guy. She was incredible. He'd been dating her for 6 years, and they're in their mid-20s. She's graduated from college. She's got a great job. He didn't go to college, which isn't a bad thing. You don't have to go to college. Okay. You can go and get a, whatever kind of job, and that's great. But he was just working this mediocre, and I'm not going to give too much information about the guy, but he just was doing this mediocre kind of job, and he wasn't sober-minded. He wasn't fixed and focused. And I didn't say it. She'd have pulled my wife and I aside, and we were to chat, and she would ask my personal opinion. I'd have been like, "Listen, you can do better than this guy." He just wasn't fixed. Listen, I've got an 18-year-old boy that from the time he was 16, he was fixed and focused. I think it's just the product of having the Holy Spirit in your life. The Holy Spirit's not going to let you live distracted. And I'm like the king. Like, if you look at my life, anybody knows me over the years, I get sucked into different things, but it's not for very long. And it's the Holy Spirit is so faithful on keeping you fixed and focused. And we are living in a day and age where you just can't live distracted. Like, you and I have destiny about us. God has a plan for our lives, and we're to give ourselves to that plan. And what I'm finding is Paul is writing, this letter to Titus, one of the major themes for every single individual in the church, because what he does is he divides the church up into 6 different groups. To every group, he says, listen, be fixed and focused. Don't get off. Don't get sidetracked. There is purpose and focus for your life. And that purpose and focus is, I belong to Jesus. I'm going to live absolutely just centered in on him and the direction he has for my life. It is a fundamental biblical principle. So I want to encourage you, live with intention. Get up in the morning, start your day with Jesus, get into the Word, walk with him. Don't spin your rims. Don't just spin your wheels. Don't just waste your life. Live with intention. It's a word for today.